instead of me trying to explain what's happening, which you could deduct for yourself, it's pretty interesting. This is a double pancake coil that bucks. It's kind of weird as the driver. This isn't hooked up, so this is just pulsing, not pulsing, but steady from a hall sensor, 100% duty cycle. This isn't hooked up either, but I have it hooked up on a scope to give us a reference, because that's not going to change. So you can see the blue wave, the blue on the scope is hooked up to the double pancake. So you can see what happens with that. And this, as I said, is just a reference, so you could watch the yellow to see how the blue one's changing phases. Okay, double pancake is hooked up into a transformer just in series with the prime mover. Secondary is not hooked up to nothing, it just hangs there. I don't need that right now to show this effect, which is interesting. Start the power. Oh, one more thing. This, as you see, is like no ohms, very low. When I start this, look, we got 4 amps. Okay, so this is huge amp draw. But watch this amount of back EMF and what happens with this weird coil. Okay, the multimeter is measuring voltage and is just hooked up into the driver circuit. Okay, so let's start it up. And you could give this a kick. Look at that amount of back EMF that happened. It brought it up to 24 kilohertz. Now the speed actually starts going down. It brought it up to a speed where the speed starts going down. You could see the wave. Here's my input, like barely anything. Driver coil seeing 5.73 volts. Power supply says 6. Wave is looking like this. Now watch when these RPMs get down to like 17 hertz area. Watch what happens. Let me see if I can get it all in a shot here. $17, it's going to happen soon. I'm not touching anything. Boom. Motor speeds up by itself. 15 volts. Power supply is putting out 6. 15. Oh, it's back up to speed. It kicks the rotor back up to speed by itself. And then the back EMF is so much. Power supply barely puts out anything. And it winds back down to 17 hertz. So let me see if I could get it all in a shot here. How many hertz we at? 19, we got a little ways to go. Rotor slowing down by itself. It's coming, here we go. Wave changed. 15 volts. Boom, up to speed. Back EMF, kicked it down. Back to this. It just self-regulates. It kicks it and gets 17 volts in that driver coil configuration when the power supply is only putting out 6. But the coil starts doing 17, 16, 17 volts, speeding itself up with amperage. It gets up to speed, and it slows down again. And it just repeats. One more round. (18 hertz), 17, rotor slowing. Boom, kicked on. Back EMF, brings it down. It just keeps doing this again and again. Interesting.